Okay, so this time we are diving into something a little different. It's a collection of excerpts from this Hebrew book, and it's called Kaflipilekalai,
which translates to
Requests of a Student from a Teacher. And along with these excerpts, we've got these really striking images of nature and
it's that pairing, I think, that makes this deep dive so interesting.
yeah.
Because it's like this student is communicating on all these different levels, not just through their words, but through these like visual metaphors. You know what I mean?
Totally. Like, we're starting with this bamboo bridge, and it's like shrouded in mist, and it leads into this mysterious forest, and it just feels symbolic somehow, you know?
Yeah, no, totally. And it gives you that sense of a journey, right? Like you're heading into the unknown, and the bridge is like this metaphor for that whole learning and growing thing.
Yeah.
And the teacher's there to kind of help you along the way.
I like that. Okay, so let's get into like the actual requests from the book.
Right
away on like pages 2 and 3, the student is super direct with the teacher. They're like, reveal what's hidden, tell the truth, and just be yourself.
Yeah, and what really gets me about these first few requests is how much they focus on authenticity.
Yeah.
Like the student's not just looking for info, they want like a genuine connection. They want a teacher who is going to be real with them and share who they truly are.
And they actually like straight up say that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. On page 5, they're like, don't just tell me what you think I want to hear. Tell me what you've actually learned, what you've struggled with, what you believe deep down. They're kind of calling the teacher out, you know? They want real lived experience, not just like stuff you'd read in a textbook.
And that is so important because a lot of times truly learning something comes from getting not just the what, but the why and the how.
Right.
This student gets that the best lessons come from going through it, you know, from dealing with the tough questions from the teacher's own experiences.
Okay, so we've got this request for realness and genuine connection. And then we come to these really cool images of animals, an ostrich, a falcon, and an elk. And they each seem to represent different qualities, different ways of like being in the world. What do you think about these?
Well, if we flip to pages 12 through 14, we can see that these animals are directly related to what the student is asking for.
Okay.
They're asking the teacher to share their wisdom on seeing the world, observing nature, and understanding people.
So the student sees the teacher as someone who has learned by watching just like these animals use their senses to survive.
Exactly. Like take the falcon.
Okay.
The student writes on page 13, the falcon can spot even the smallest movement from miles away. Teach me to see with that kind of clarity how to pay attention to those little details that everyone else misses. They want to be more aware, you know? They want to be able to find meaning from the world around them.
It's interesting because it's not just about observing nature.
Right.
On page 14, they say, the elk moves through the forest so gracefully and confidently. It gets over anything in its way with no problem. Teach me how to go through life with that same sense of purpose and toughness. They want guidance. They want practical advice for how to handle life's challenges. And the pictures we're looking at change here too, don't they? We go from those animals that were all about strength and sharp senses to like a lone tree standing up to a storm cloud. It just feels like heavier or something.
Right. Yeah. It's like we're moving into a whole new part of the student's journey, right? One where they're feeling more vulnerable, trying to deal with the hard stuff in life.
Yeah, and you can totally tell that in what they're writing. From pages 15 to 24, we get these requests like, help me get what my place is in this huge universe and show me how to be okay, even when everything is crazy. Like, these are some big questions they're dealing with.
They really are. And, you know, I think everyone feels that way sometimes.
Yeah.
Who hasn't felt totally lost or like they can't handle things and just wish someone would show them what to do.
Totally. There's something so raw about what they're asking for here. I really connect with it. Like on page 17, they ask, how can I be myself when everyone's telling me who I should be? I think a lot of us struggle with that, trying to figure out who we are when the world wants us to be someone else.
For sure. And it takes guts to admit that to ask for help figuring that out. This student isn't afraid to show their weak spots, and that actually shows how strong they are.
Right. It's like that saying, the strongest people are the ones who are fighting battles we know nothing about. This student is definitely going through something, but they're still reaching out, still looking for guidance.
And that need to connect, to be guided, it gets even stronger in the next part. It's like the student goes from their own problems to thinking about the whole world.
And we see that in the pictures too, huh? We go from that lonely tree to 2 elephants with their trunks touching. It's like a symbol of being close and in harmony.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when we check out the writing from page 25 to 39, it's all about wanting that same connection. The student isn't just trying to figure out themselves anymore. They want to get where they fit in the grand scheme of things.
And there's this real feeling of awe and wonder in their words now. On page 29, they write, "There's so much noise and distraction in the world. Teach me how to find that quiet place inside to hear what my own soul is saying."
And on page 34, they're like, "The world is full of incredible things, even the tiny ones. Teach me to see the amazing and the normal stuff, to find beauty in every single moment." They want a deeper way of seeing things, a more meaningful way of experiencing life.
Okay, so we've gone from asking for realness to wanting practical knowledge, and now it's all about meaning and connection. Where do things go from here? It's like we're at this turning point now with what the student is asking for, I've gone from all that looking inward and feeling amazed to, well, actually, the pictures kind of give it away. Now we're seeing a tiger walking through the jungle and this lion with the most intense stare.
It's definitely a different vibe now. It is. The student is like shifting gears now. They've been trying to understand things, and now they want to actually do something with what they've learned. And those pictures you mentioned, yeah, they totally show that strength, that bravery, that focus. That's what the student is after now.
And you can see it in their words, right? From pages 40 to 57, the requests are all about taking action. Things like, give me what I need to get over challenges. Teach me how to reach my goals. Show me how to make tough choices. It's like they're ready to take on the world now.
Exactly. They're done with why and ready for how. They still want the teacher's help. But now it's not just about knowing stuff. It's about feeling strong enough to handle things.
Right. Reminds me of that give a man a fish. I don't know.
Yeah.
The student doesn't just want answers anymore. They want the skills to figure things out for themselves.
Which brings us to the last image. And I think this one really sums up the whole journey we've been looking at. It's a single seagull just chilling on a post in the middle of this crazy rough water.
That's a powerful image. This tiny bird, just calm as can be, even though everything is chaotic around it. What do you think it means?
To me, it shows what a teacher should be. That steady presence, someone to give you perspective and peace, even when everything feels overwhelming. They're not there to make the storm go away, but to help the student find their own way to stay grounded, their own internal compass.
And that takes us right to the last bit of writing, doesn't it? Pages 58 through 77, the student says, "Thank you for being my rock, for showing me that even when things are crazy, there's always a quiet place inside myself."
It's beautiful how they show their thanks, but it's also a big realization, right? The student gets that real peace. Real strength comes from within. The teacher is there to guide, to help to give them the tools, but it's up to the student to walk the path.
Which brings us to the end of another deep dive, and I gotta say, this one really hit home for me.
Me too. There's something about the student's journey here that we can all relate to. Wanting to be real, looking for meaning, trying to find our place in the world and face our challenges with guts and wisdom,
It really makes you think. And on that note, we'll leave you, our listener, with this.
Yeah.
What if you were the teacher in this book? After hearing all that the student wants to know, what's the one piece of advice you'd give them? What wisdom would you want them to carry with them long after they've closed the book?